If you attended KCC's Fall 2025 in-service, you might remember my presentation on using rubrics in Canvas to measure course and institutional learning outcomes, or CLOs and ILOs. Of course, I realize that was a very busy time and you may have forgotten. So in case you've forgotten or in case you missed it altogether, here's a short video to remind you of how to use Canvas rubrics to measure CLOs and ILOs. First of all, while at this time rubrics are not required for grading at KCC, they are strongly encouraged as they help ensure fairness and consistency in your grading process. Canvas has several different ways to create rubrics in assignments, in discussions, and using their Ignite AI tool. Additionally, for those of you who use Harmonize, that tool has both a manual and AI rubric creation tool available. We have videos dedicated to the topic of digital rubric creation, and you can find them by going to Wakelet, that's wakelet.com/@KCCCTL, and clicking on the faculty link for making digital rubrics. This video, however, is going to focus specifically on using rubrics to measure CLOs and ILOs. Each of your courses has specific course learning outcomes, or CLOs, that must be covered during the term. Additionally, as an instructor here at KCC, you should also incorporate KCC's institutional learning outcomes, or those ILOs, into the items that you cover. Some courses even cover PLOs, or program learning outcomes. You can use rubrics to keep track of if and when your students are meeting these CLOs, PLOs, and ILOs. Let's start here with this sample assignment and click on Create Rubric. You can begin by creating your rubric as you normally would. And if you don't know how to do that, definitely check out our Wakelet video collection. However, you will still have the option of selecting this button, which says Create from Outcome. Click on this button. If there are no outcomes connected to your course, don't panic. Click here to create one, and then click on the Find button at the upper right. From the menu on the left, click on Account Standards, and then select Klamath Community College. You will need to give it a few seconds to load. Then scroll down until you find your course. Let's select at random, how about CJA 111 for this example. As a side note, most of KCC's courses do have outcomes associated with them in Canvas. However, if you click on a course and there are no outcomes associated with it, please reach out to the CTL at ctlsupport@klamathcc.edu and let us know. All right, here you can see that CJA 111 is associated with 6 CLOs and 2 PLOs. Just click on Add All Outcomes and they will be added to your class. Next, scroll down to the Ks and click on KCC Institutional Learning Outcomes. Click the Add All Outcomes button again. Now, click Done. Next, go back to the assignment and click on Plus Create Rubric again, and then select Create from Outcome. Now you can see that we have access to CJA 111's outcomes and KCC's ILOs. Clicking on one of these folders will open up the CLOs, PLOs, and ILOs that we just added. Let's pretend that this assignment covers CLO 1 and ILO 3. The first thing we'll need to do is select the CLO. Click on the CJA 111 folder, then click on CLO 1 to add it to the rubric. If you want this CLO to be included in your scoring or grading for this assignment, be sure the Use this criterion for scoring box is checked. If you're just using it for tracking purposes, uncheck this box. Then click the Import button. You will see that the CLO has now been added to the rubric. Now, if we want to add ILO 3 to our rubric, we will once again click on Create from Outcome. This time, click on KCC Institutional Learning Outcomes. ILO 3 is cultural competence, so let's select that. Again, decide whether or not you want to use this outcome for scoring purposes and click Import. Now the ILO has been added to the rubric. When your rubric is ready to go, click on the Create Rubric button at the bottom right of the screen. You can click on the Preview Rubric button below the assignment to see what it will look like. As a note for any of you who use Harmonize, since Harmonize rubrics are imported into Canvas after their creation, you can use the Edit Rubric function in Canvas to edit any rubric you created in Harmonize in order to add CLOs, PLOs, and ILOs using the steps described above. When you grade assignments in the Speed Grader, the rubric should load for you automatically. You can always drag the vertical gray bar to the left if you can't see the entire rubric. Notice that as you grade, points from items set to be included in scoring populate the gradebook, while those that weren't set to be used for scoring do not affect the overall score for the assignment, even when clicked. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or would like some help creating your rubrics, please reach out to the CTL at ctlsupport@klamathcc.edu, by phone at 541-880-2374, or stop by Building 3, Room 350, and we'd be happy to help you out.